Hello everybody, welcome to this week's Wisdom Wednesday. My name is Kristen Gear and I am the Director of Operations for BNI Arizona. And every single week I come to you with a Wisdom Wednesday education nugget that counts as one chapter education unit for watching. So thank you so much for tuning in to this week's edition. Alright guys, so for the last 2 months we've been talking about member extravaganza and Beningo. The cutoff date for new applications was last week, but we are allowing this week and next week for membership committees to have enough time to process through those applications. So we won't be drawing the winner yet. So not on next week's Wisdom Wednesday, but on the following week, we will be doing the live drawing on Wisdom Wednesday of who the lucky winner is for our cruise. And I will also know more details and if any chapter won a Beningo. So we have so many applications, like dozens of applications that chapters are still processing. So membership committees, keep on it. We've got the next 2 weeks, so this week and next week, to process any last applications to count towards member extravaganza and Beningo. So it's over, but not over yet. So there's still some things pending, so I will be sending out 2 more updates for all of the updated sponsors and different things like that. As always, guys, if you notice that someone isn't listed under your name as being their sponsor, let me know, and I can check their application and then also update BNI Connect as well. But today's education is all around leadership and support team transition. Can you believe it? The time is already here. I can't believe it, but it's going to come quick. So all of the transitions, so for those of you who are newer to BNI, we transition all the leadership and support team roles in October every year. But in June, we start the process and conversations with who that next lineup is going to be. One, because we don't want leadership teams to have to rush through the process and pick the wrong people, because we want enough time for interviews and all of that good stuff. But then they also need to go through training, and then you can also shadow the current people that are in the roles, so that way it's a smooth transition come October 1st. This is why we start so early in the year, because a lot of times when we start to communicate this, everyone's like, why now? But it's because there's a lot that goes on into the process. So I wanted to share with you guys the insight of kind of what goes on and how current leadership teams pick those incoming teams, because I think it's important to know how that process works, especially if you're newer in BNI. So first thing, guys, I did email everyone. I know that you all look at my Power of One emails, right? I know you all do. I hope that you're looking at it. But on Monday, I sent out the new May Power of One report. So the Power of One report, guys, as a reminder, it's always based on attendance, referrals, one-to-ones, chapter education units, and visitors. So those 5 areas. And it's on a 6-month rotation. So it's not just a monthly number, it's 6 months. So for example, the average for each of those things, so for the weekly meeting, it's 4 meetings. That will give you all of the points. For one-to-ones, on average, 1 one-to-one per week will get you all of the points. For chapter education units, 1 chapter education unit per week will get you all the points. This is why I created Wisdom Wednesday, so that way all of you could get your points. For referrals, the average is 1 referral per week will get you that 100 points for that section. And for visitors, it's 1 visitor per month. That will get you all of the points for the visitor section. So it's an average over the 6 months. So if you have 1 visitor in 6 months, that's 1 out of 6. The percentage is very low. You still may get 0 points for just 1 visitor. So you have to get multiple for it to tally up some points. But if you have any questions, if it has like 0, like you have no little percentage on there, then connect with your chapter's vice president, and that way they can kind of connect to make sure that the visitors are being logged for you guys. All right, so leadership transition process. It's a whole detailed thing. I attached this to the Power of One email so that way everyone can have it. But the nomination form, guys, is going out on Monday. So like this coming up Monday. It's coming up really, really fast. But this gives all of the dates and timelines for the process. So with the nomination form, guys, so I'm going to be emailing it out to all members. And for the leadership teams that are watching this, I would recommend there is a QR code that is also attached to that Power of One email that you can put in your slide deck for your chapter meeting, so that way members can scan it at the end of one of your meetings. That way everyone can kind of get the information done just in case they didn't see the email. But all of the nominations will be sent out June 10th, and it'll be due by June 24th. So there is enough time for members to think about who they want to nominate, because on the form, there's two different sections. The first section is to nominate who you feel would make the best next president, vice president, and secretary treasurer for your chapter, and why. So what attributes do they possess that would make them an amazing leader for that role? There are certain personalities and traits that we do recommend for certain roles. Like for a president, you want someone that's energetic and can keep people's attention because they're leading the meeting. For vice president, they need to be great with coordination, delegating to the membership committee team, great with numbers, secretary treasurer, great with organization for the speaker rotation, and also great with numbers because of the chapter bank account. So there's a couple little things in there that we definitely want to make sure that each leaders possess. So once we get all of the nominations in, so all of the members submit all their nominations due by June 24th, I get all that information, I put it in a spreadsheet and send it to each individual leadership team. So that way you can see what has come in for the chapter. Now, members, it is super, super, super important to submit these nomination forms. Like every member should be submitting their feedback. Now, these nominations are not votes. I'm going to repeat that. The nominations are not votes. I'm going to repeat this in like every Wisdom Wednesday because every year someone comes back and thinks that they're votes. These nomination forms are nominations. They are not votes. So the person with the most nominations does not automatically get the spot. We've had members that would rally members to nominate them for certain positions, thinking that them being nominated more would automatically get them the spot. Members do not rally and get people to put your name on these forms. It should be just genuine feedback from members to the current leadership team of who you feel and why for each of those positions. It's important because the leadership team and the chapter's director are the ones that are putting together that new team. So we want to make sure that we get all of the members' feedback, because once we get that feedback, one of the things that the leadership team will then do is interview the top candidates. They'll interview the people who were nominated the most. They'll interview the people who personally nominated themselves for the role. And they'll nominate some of the leaders that maybe stood out over the year that maybe weren't nominated, but have the right attributes to assist in certain roles. So there's 3 different ways the leadership team can interview candidates. It's not 100% based off of the nominations, but the nominations help a lot. So please, 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 guys, when you get the link on Monday, and even if you're feeling, if you want to get a jump start, if you look at the attachment, you will find the link there. So if you're watching today and you're like, you know what? I don't want to wait till Monday. I'm going to go now. The link is technically in the details. So if you wanted to complete it earlier, by all means, go for it. But you're going to nominate those 3 positions. You can also, if you personally want to support the chapter in one of those 3 key roles, you can nominate yourself as well, but also list why you feel you would make an amazing person for that position. The second piece to the nomination form is also to select the top roles that you personally want to help support the chapter in. Whether it's a leadership team role or membership committee or visitor host or education or events or growth or timer, there's a lot of different roles. And if you're newer, you may be thinking, well, I don't know what's involved in all of these different roles. Great news is, on the same attachment, guys, is all of the details about each of the roles. So I listed out what each role is responsible for and the skills and attributes for each of the roles. So it starts with president, and it walks through vice president, and then assistant vice president. Now, assistant vice presidents are for chapters that have 50 plus members that need an assistant to the VP. Then you've got all of the different membership committee roles, because there's 4 different membership committee roles. So it walks you through all 4 of those roles. Then it's got secretary treasurer. It has the visitor host roles. There's 4 different visitor host roles that are part of that particular support team. We've got the education role. We've got mentors. We've got events. We've got growth. We've got timer. We've got social media and power team coordinators. There's lots of different roles. And on the very back, we also have the details for our chapter directors and our launch team. I know Nate Dominguez just recently sent out an email about the launch team, and we're looking for additional people to add to that launch team. So if you didn't see his email, search for his email and you can check out the details, because our information meeting about that is this coming up Monday as well. Lots of stuff going on right now, guys. So once we get all the nominations, I'm going to send it to the chapter's leadership team. Then they're going to start interviewing. They're going to interview for the president first. Then once a president is selected, they're going to bring that new president into the mix to help pick the vice president. It is super important that the president, the incoming president, vice president, and secretary treasurer work really well together. Communication is key within a leadership team. The most important roles for a chapter are the leadership team and the membership committee. So it's really, really important that they work really well together. So once we pick the president, we bring the president into the mix with the current leadership team, and then they pick the vice president. We do the interviews, same thing, do the interviews, then pick the best candidate for the vice president. Then we bring that vice president into the mix to help interview and then select the secretary treasurer. Now for our larger chapters that also will be adding an assistant vice president, that will also kind of be into the mix after the vice president selected, interview for assistant vice president. Now, if someone is nominated for president a lot, but maybe all of their attributes qualify them more for vice president, does it disqualify them to interview for the vice president? Absolutely not. So any of the names that are nominated for the leadership team roles can, in essence, be interviewed for any of the top roles. And membership committee, guys, is also an extremely important role for a chapter. It really is the eyes and ears of the chapter. All of the power, I would say, all of the decisions for a chapter fall on the vice president and the membership committee. The president doesn't decide things. Secretary treasurer doesn't decide things. It's all VP and membership committee. So if you are the type of person that loves to know all of the behind the scenes stuff, VP and membership committee is your jam. So all of those details, guys, are in this attachment. It's such an important attachment. I was going to just send it out to leadership teams, but I figured, you know what? I'm just going to send it to everyone and we'll see who notices. I guess you guys know now, for those of you who actually watch my Wisdom Wednesdays. So there's all of the details, guys, and all of the timeline dates. So it has it detailed out when the president needs to be picked by, when the vice president needs to be picked by, when the secretary treasurer needs to be picked by. And then once everything is selected, once the leadership team is selected, then each of the leadership team, incoming team members, will partner with the current leadership team to plug in all of the support team members. The president facilitates the education team, events team, growth, power team, social media. Vice president oversees the membership committee and mentor team, and the secretary treasurer oversees visitor host and timer. So each of the leadership team members oversees parts of the support teams for the chapter. So it is going to be a big process. Now, some of our chapters also have a Dead Presidents Society or Past Presidents Committee, whatever they're calling it. And so they will also be in the mix with the current leadership team to help with interviews and feedback to select that incoming team. All of those committees do need to be approved through me. So if you're thinking, I've never heard of this before, it may be that your chapter doesn't have it, and that's okay. It's usually chapters that have 3 or more past presidents in their current chapter that will help with the selections for the future leaders. So it's not up to their decision. They're just helping provide feedback in the process, which is important to have the past history and everything kind of roll with the success of the chapter. So if you have any questions about this, guys, let me know. But this is the whole leadership and support team transition process, timeline, details about all the roles. This is a very important document, but the nomination form is the first piece to the process, and that is going out to all members on Monday. So make sure to check your emails for that. Please, please, please submit your feedback so that way, and I'll make sure that the system is set up to also send you a copy of it so that way you know that it was submitted as well, because I think that's important. But the feedback, all of the nominations that come in are only going to be sent to the leadership team, guys. So it is going to be confidential to the leadership team of what those nominations are. So it will not be sent to the entire chapter of who nominated who. It's not going to be public knowledge. It is only going to be specifically for the leadership team and the director of that feedback. And if they have specific questions about things, they can reach out to you. But just know that as a member, you won't see all of the nomination information that comes in. It's going to be strictly to the leadership team and the director of your chapter. So if you have any questions, let me know. And as always, guys, log 1, chapter education unit for watching. Thanks so much, and we'll see you next week.